Mental health struggles are at once pervasive in society, yet also intensely personal. Take depression. 21 million American adults have a major depressive episode every single year. And now researchers in San Diego are using artificial intelligence to create apps that they think might help treat, even predict the onset. Scripps News health and science correspondent Lindsay Thies shows us how it works.
Diane Davis of La Jolla, California, has lived with depression much of her life.
I think that people don't realize, for someone who struggles with depression, just how hard things can be, and simple things.
Her depression hit as she watched the news about the Uvalde, Texas school shooting in May 2022. 19 elementary school students and 2 teachers were killed.
I just went into this deep dive. I was so depressed. Trying to get out of bed was like difficult.
Davis signed up to participate in the study at Neural Engineering and Translation Labs, or NEAT Labs for short, at the nearby University of San Diego. The study would be life-changing.
Really helped a lot. It made a big difference.
We visited NEAT Labs and met co-director Jody Mishra. Researchers are studying how to use AI to personalize depression treatment and potentially one day predict a depressive episode before it happens. They put me through the process to show how it works. The study participants would undergo an EEG. This cap I'm wearing here is part of it. Researchers painstakingly have to soak dozens of these white pieces in salt water and place them to the scalp via holes in this cap. The cap is hooked up to computers that measure electrical activity in the brain. That activity shows up as wavy lines. During the EEG, participants complete a series of brain games, different exercises. The two together are like a checkup for the brain. Based on those brain waves, Mishra and her team can tell how the parts that are in charge of emotion are doing.
We can record cognition in a very scalable manner. That is, we can take the tool to a clinic or a community setting and really gather data on many different aspects of cognitive functioning.
Participants then used a smartphone app for a month. They checked in 3 to 4 times a day and self-reported how they were feeling, what they ate, their social interaction and exercise, and how well they thought they slept. Researchers also used smartwatches to track objective data on sleep, activity levels, diet, and stress markers like heart rate and breathing.
All of that together forms this suite of assessments and gives us a lot of sort of this multi-dimensional data.
Then the AI in the NEAT Labs app would analyze the data and suggest lifestyle changes to lessen the impact of a depressive episode. For Diane Davis, it meant more exercise.
Using the tools they gave me and then having a doctor to talk to about what was going well, what wasn't. The tool itself is really good because it gives you feedback right away.
What are you working on right now?
Well, the new project that we discussed about how we can take the personalization further.
Back at NEAT Labs, we got a look at the next thing they're testing. The researchers are using the same AI to predict when a depressive episode may come and how long it might last.
What it's plotting is, in blue is how their actual mood state is how they feel in terms of how happy they are or how sad they feel on any given moment. And in red is how our models would predict their data.
The initial signs are promising, Mishra says, but it's still early days, research days. And the app is not meant to replace a doctor or a mental health provider or their care, but to assist, not just by the personalized advice, but by getting a lot of information in just 30 minutes with some games and a spiky-looking cap before your doctor's appointment even starts. Lindsay Thies, Scripps News, San Diego.
The idea of using AI to revolutionize things like depression treatment, it's intriguing, but just how practical is new technology in the real world of therapy? Joining me tonight to hopefully shed some light on that is Teresa Lusk. She has a graduate degree in counseling psychology and is a life coach based in McKinney, Texas. Ms. Lusk, would you find someone's physical data helpful in treating them? Like, what would that look like? How would you use it?
Apps can be helpful. They can be helpful in that they can assist an individual in dealing with depression, anxiety, things of that nature. It helps you deal with certain triggers throughout the day. Of course, nothing replaces human connection. Nothing replaces other things that are more important than technology, but they are certainly helpful to many individuals. It could be like a reminder of some sort, an alarm of some sort that some of them you can actually set them based on your needs. So you may have an alarm or something that'll say, breathe in, take a walk, things of that nature, smile, call somebody, let them know that you are there. And so there are some great benefits to these apps, and they can help you train your mind, your brain to say, hey, I'm being triggered, so now would be a good time to call the person that I love, call a healthy person, call somebody that has positive things to say, make that human connection, or go outside and take a walk, enjoy the sunshine, maybe go for a jog, maybe, write down something positive that has happened to you today. So absolutely, Chance.
The APA reports 58% of Gen Z adults feel sad or depressed in a year. Almost 6 in 10. 55% nervous or anxious. And when treating someone, of course, you have to tailor it to that person. But I was also wondering, in the mental health field, there's something called terminal uniqueness, where patients tend to feel like their situation is somehow different or it's worse than other people. And when you're in the depths of depression, you might feel that way. Is it sometimes helpful to say, I know this is hard, but you're actually not alone. It is not uncommon to feel this way. That I know with all of its specificity, to tell someone there's maybe hope in the commonality.
Yes, Chance, this is why it's important to find a few people that have a healthy life so that you can, talk about, these are some of the issues going on right now. And like a sounding board, somebody that you can say, I'm struggling with this situation. And if you deal with wise people, people who have already healthy mental health patterns that they've practiced themselves. And when you share those types of situations with the people that I am describing, they're likely to redirect you and say, hey, listen, you're not alone. I know of a person who's dealing with this. And actually, as a coach myself, Chance, I have dealt with this generation of people who they do feel like they are the only ones dealing with specific situations. And when I bring them into my office and I begin to say, hey, listen, you're not alone. Actually, I've been speaking to a few other people in your same age bracket, going through the same types of life issues, and I can tell you that you're not alone. And then I can start describing to them some steps that they can take to feel hopeful and say, hey, I can change this. I'm not alone. There's something really relieving about knowing that somebody else has already dealt with it and overcame it, or is going through it and working out some steps that are healthy. So it's good news, Chance. It's good news.
Thinking back to my Psych 101 textbook in college, we've come a long way from Freud, but something like cognitive behavioral therapy, very effective. It's been around a really long time. You don't hear a lot about innovations in therapy. Do you think the model needs updating? What would that look like if so?
I think the things that have been established actually still work. I'm very much about dealing with your thought process. I studied CBT, things of that nature. Obviously, if you're going to get a psychology degree, you will have to be familiar with it. But I just think thought patterns in general are very, very effective when you can deal with, what am I thinking? Why am I thinking it? What are some healthy replacements for those thoughts that I'm having right now? One of the things I love to do, Chance, is have people write out, what are some things that are going well right now? So yes, there's some new innovations out there, I'm sure, that are helpful to many people, but the things that have been established are actually very helpful. Dealing with your thought patterns and changing and rewriting those thought patterns, whether you write them, whether you say them out loud, whether you think them in your mind and you are being consistent and you are being intentional, those practices, those theories, they still work.
Integrating the old therapy, the new technology, maybe not a bad idea. Put it all together. Hopefully happier people. Teresa Lusk, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let's take this one step further tonight. For young people in particular, dealing with mental health issues can be tough.